Hello, Gary Poirier here. Thank you for joining us. I'm at the Megger Scientific Research Facility, and I'd like to introduce you to the new SA550 grinder polisher. This grinder polisher is the newest addition to our family. It comes in the format you see here, which is a 300 millimeter single wheel format. We also supply it in a double wheel format, 300 millimeter or 200 millimeter, and we can also have this unit built into a floor model, and we can also supply the floor model with a cleaning chamber for higher volumes and more automation. The unit itself is made of aluminum housing. We have a new touchscreen display. We have large motors in here that allow you to pair multiple samples or unmounted samples of a large size, and we can do that in either single sample format or a central pressure format. In the future videos, we'll be talking about the individual items on this machine. Now we're going to talk about the single sample preparation mode and the sample holder preparation mode. The single sample preparation mode allows you to prepare 25 millimeters all the way up to 50 millimeter samples, and that also comes in standard sizes too. When we prepare individual samples, we allow the pressure feet to come down and push the sample into place. This allows us to do up to 6 samples at one time. And as you can see, with our pressure feet, they're very large. This means that we have less wear and tear at this point, which requires less maintenance, and it's also much easier to service the feet and keep them clean when they're this size. When we want to go to use a sample holder, we can remove the sample carrier plate by just pressing the button. And it actually wants to make sure that your hand's in the proper location for safety. So you check, say, yes, I'd like to remove this. It automatically releases the carrier into your hand. And then you can take a sample holder. The sample holder, this is a unique one for us, this is called the Easy Spawn. The Easy Spawn is nice because you can lock your samples in and out using a CAM device. When you want to load the Easy Spawn holder into the machine, you place the clutch stud in the proper location, bring it up, press the button, and it locks it into place. By doing that, it makes it easy for us to change from doing mounted samples in a holder, or unmounted samples in a holder. To move the head into the proper position, once you change holders, you press a button here, and that allows you to line up the head, and you can lower the head and start your process. One of the unique features about the way this machine is constructed, it's very important that you have a very rigid surface when you prepare your sample, especially when using a sample holder. And we achieve this by changing the ring, which allows us to push the entire holder down using 6 points of pressure, which allows us to maintain appropriate pressure across the entire sample holder. I'd like to introduce you to the SA550 dosing system. The dosing system allows us to dose 4 diamonds, 1 lubricant, and 1 oxide. One of the unique features about our machine is you actually have complete control over the dosing system, all the way down to how long the pump runs and how often it pumps. Let's just choose 1 diamond. As you'll see, they're color-coded, red through blue, and the blue diamond color corresponds with the blue cap back here, so we always know what diamond we're calling for. When we look at this first, we see the time. Right now we have it set at 30 seconds. Let's say I wanted to dispense every 20 seconds, I would just come up and ask for 20-second intervals. This is how often the pump is actually going to run. Once we go into the toolbar, we can actually choose how long the pump's going to run during each interval, and we also have ability to control the sniff feature, which is very nice depending on the viscosity of your suspension. The more viscous it is, the longer we need to run the sniff feature, the thicker it is, the less time we have to run it. But this allows us to program it at 0.2. So what this is saying is every time I call for the peristaltic pump, it's going to run for 2 seconds, and for 0.2 seconds the pump will run backwards to sniff it back into the tube so it cannot cross-contaminate the next step. We can also at this point see what we can do with our oxide pump. Right now we have it set up to run 1 second. We're also going to run water for 1 second after each time it doses the oxide. Then the cleaning station is going to run for 3 seconds. And then we'll run the entire cleaning section for 20 seconds. What this allows us to do is can keep the clogging down, and we also at 20 seconds we clean our sample and clean our cloth so we don't have recrystallization of the oxide polish on there. We can also run all the pumps forward and backwards in this screen to clean them. So if I'd like to clean all the pumps, I could press the button, call for each pump, and run it backwards, and I can do all pumps at the same time, including the oxide pump. Turn it this way, I can reload the pumps, and you can see the diamond coming out. Now when I go back to my main screen, I'm going to start the machine so we can watch the dosing system operate. As you see, when I press the start button, we'll have a pre-dosing cycle, which allows the cloth to get lubricated so it's ready to go. While it's running, it's going to dose every 10 seconds. And in here we can see the dosing pump is actually going to run for 2 seconds, and then the snip feature will engage, which will actually allow the pump to suck the diamond back up in the nozzle, and then that allows us not to drip out when we don't want it to. Go back to the main screen, and you'll see it dosing again. Now when we're done, you'll see that there's not a drop of diamond hanging out because it's been sucked back up into the nozzle. This keeps cross-contamination down. It's very important that we do not drip diamond suspension onto the following step, or you ruin your cloth and have to start the process completely over. Even with an automatic machine, there's occasions when you'll do manual preparation or be required to do manual preparation. One of the very nice features about this machine is your ability to do manual preparation with an opening the wheel completely. As you can see, your screen right now is showing all the automatic preparation items. When I take the head, move it beyond, you see the screen changes. It goes from the head showing to manual preparation. At this point, you can see I can still change the wheel speed, I can turn the water off or on, the disc cooling off and on, and I also have control over all my diamond pumps. One of the really nice things is we can take this head and completely slide it out of the way. Now we have a nice big area open to work, because sometimes you have big samples like this. I can start the machine here, and I have a nice area to work. If you have a smaller sample you're going to prep, or maybe something you're just going to knock the etch off of, such as a sample like this that you etch that you need to re-etch, you can have the head in this position here where you have your diamond pumps over the machine. And I can actually literally call up a diamond I want to dispense on there, and you can see it dispense. And I can start the unit to run. So I can actually hand polish here, dispense a little diamond when I need it, and keep on running. Let's take a few minutes to talk about our new touchscreen. As you can see, it's nice and bright, easy to read. It's also broken down into 4 distinct areas. We have the programming area here where you save your programs. You have the area here where you set your time, speed, rotational direction, and force. You have the ability to program your dosing pumps here. You have the up, down, left, right, start, stop here. Let's review what's in each one of these areas. First, we'll start with the programming. This icon allows you to clear the programming out for new programs. This allows you to recall a program. This allows you to save a program. And this feature here is a new feature that's very nice. This allows you to take all the existing programs, put them on a USB memory stick, and recall them off the USB memory stick at any time. This really protects you if someone goes in and deletes your programs or manipulates your programs. The name of your program shows up here. Any information about that step within that program you can write here. You just touch it, you type in what you would like, and that ends up on this screen. So you can often refer to what grinding material, what size diamond, what type of cloth you want to use. This icon here is also very handy. This allows you to program your first step and then pull all your information into the following step to make it quicker and easier to program. Now we'll move down to your time, rotation, and pressure, and rotational speed. To set up any of these areas, you just touch a button. You say, I want to run for 2 minutes. Press enter. Now it's saved at 2 minutes. On the force, same. You want to go at 30 newtons. Now on the speed, which is new for us, we actually have the option of rotational speed of the head, which is a nice feature when you're doing very delicate samples. So when you want to change the rotational speed of the head, you press the button, and you can see that we have some preset speeds in here, and these are the common speeds: slow for fragile materials, and your normal speed of 150 for your normal materials. You just press that and press enter, and if we were grinding, which we would normally do with an 80 grit piano, we just call it 300 RPMs, enter, and now we have our speed set up. We actually have a toolbar here too. The toolbar is very handy because what it does, it takes you into a different area. And this is very important. We have the ability to program our starting force and our post force, or end force. F12 is the starting force that ramps up to the full programmed force and then brings you back down. T1 is the length of time that is going to run. So right now we have it starting at 5 newtons, and that is going to run for 1 minute. Then it will go up to our program force of 40 newtons, and then at the very end it will run for 1 minute at 5 newtons, which helps the sample shallow up the scratches to give us better results. We also have the ability here to clean the optional safety hood. It also shows you the date, the time, and the IP address. So if we need to get into the machine via the internet, we can get the information here if necessary to do that. Now, also in this one, we have the water on and off. We also have disc cooling. One of the nice things about our disc cooling is we have the standard disc cooling where the water runs all the time that helps keep the disc cool and keep the bowl clean. We also have a Kano, which will probably use more often, and that turns the water off and on for savings, water savings. And then we also have the ability to turn off and on our light. The next area is diamond dosing and oxide dosing and lubricants. We have a choice of 4 diamonds, 1 lubricant, and 1 oxide. One of the things that's unique about our machine is we do have the ability under the toolbar to program how long the pump's going to run in the forward and how long it's going to run in the sniff feature or backwards to make sure we don't drip diamond onto the following step for cross-contamination issues. In our oxide pump, we can choose how long the oxide pump's going to run, how long we're going to dose water, and how long it's going to run backwards, and also how long it's going to dose water at the end of the cycle. This is also where we clean our pumps if we're going to be gone for a holiday or for a long weekend. You can actually make the pumps run forward or backwards for easy cleaning. Okay, let's program our pump now. 1 second's way too short. We normally go 20 to 30 seconds between pumps. So we call it up. We'd say we want to run 20 seconds. Now we have 20 seconds programmed in, and if we go back to our toolbar, every 20 seconds the pump's going to run for 2 seconds in the forward direction and then 0.2 seconds to sniff the diamond back up so it can't contaminate in the next step. And now the oxide pump, we probably only run it about every 5 seconds because we run the oxide or the lubricant pump more often. So we go every 5 seconds. And now our dosing system's programmed. The last area here is we have the ability to program where our head's going to go left, right, up, and down. And how we do that is we actually move our head into the position where we'd like it to be. Need to go up just a little bit. And then we'd say, in the Y position, we'd like it to stop here. In the X position, we also would like it to stop in this location. So now, when we're cleaning our holder or moving the head into position, we'll stop in the appropriate position. Will also give us an indication point if we've gone too far one way or the other. You can see a black dot, and that lets us know that now we're in the proper position. When we move it down, we'll stop in the proper position. To move the head back and forth, we have this button here. And then, when we're ready to start the machine, we just press the start button. We actually have a pause feature, so if for some reason you need to check how much material to ground or if it's making a funny noise, you can pause it. Everything stays just like it is. The timer doesn't reset, the dosing doesn't reset. We can do what we need to do. When we're done, we can start the machine back. If we're ready to stop the procedure, we'd stop it here. It knows that we stopped it without the end cycle, so the head stayed in the position. If we were normally running and the machine came to the end of its time, the head would lift up automatically and allow you access to the sample. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video of our new SA550 grinder polisher. We hope you enjoyed our presentation and would like you to visit megarsci.com website to see all the other metallurgical equipment we offer and our consumables. We'd be glad to support your lab and your company in any way we can. Thank you and have a nice day.